How about the Cowboys?
Will Mitch Trubisky join the meme of all the quarterbacks that have beat Dallas this year? Or will the Bears fall to the Cowboys in the most depressing and disappointing loss of the entire season? What's up, guys? I'm back with the Bears prediction videos. This time we got a Week 14 matchup against the Dallas Cowboys on national television, Thursday Night Football, 1 week after our Thanksgiving game. And guys, we are facing America's team, or America's most hated team, however you want to see it, because at this point I feel like the Cowboys are definitely not, America's favorite team, okay? Everybody's going to be cheering for us. Everybody hates the Cowboys, okay? My roommate, who's an Eagles fan, he's going to be cheering for the Bears. I mean, a lot of people are going to be cheering for the Bears because they love to see the Cowboys fail. And hopefully, we can make good on that promise to beat the Cowboys because besides obviously wanting the Bears to stay in the playoff race, I really want the Bears to win this game because I want to see all the memes that come out of it. I want to see Stephen A. Smith's face on First Take. I want to see what he has to say on Friday when the Bears beat the Cowboys because it's going to be hilarious. And you guys all know that meme where you got all the quarterbacks that have beat Dallas this year. I mean, I want to see Mitch Trubisky on that meme so badly, okay? Mitch is one of the most hated quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I mean, I feel like every single analyst, every single fan of the NFL thinks he absolutely sucks. And it would just be the biggest FU to Cowboys fans to see Mitch on that meme. So I really hope it happens. But guys, beyond the memes and everything, like I mentioned, this is a must-win game for the Chicago Bears if they want to stay in the playoff race. Okay? If we win out, then we have a 62% chance of making the playoffs. If we go 9-7, we have a less than 10% chance. So our chances drop severely if we drop a game like this. I mean, we cannot drop any games, and especially a game against a Cowboys team that's been struggling against good competition. I mean, you cannot drop a game like this. This is without a doubt the most important game of the season. It's going to be at Soldier Field. We're going to be at our house. We're going to have the crowd with us. I mean, everything should be in our favor, although we are, I think, underdogs by 2.5 points. So, I mean, Vegas thinks the Cowboys are going to win because the Cowboys, I mean, they definitely have looked, I guess, a little bit better than we have in certain aspects. Their offense is firing a lot better. I mean, Dak Prescott is leading the NFL in passing yards, for crying out loud. Their offenses look pretty good. They actually have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, but somehow the Cowboys, being the Cowboys, they're 6-6, okay? That ultimately comes down to coaching, guys. I mean, when you have so much talent on both sides of the football and you still cannot be more than a 500 team. I mean, this Cowboys team with a good coach would probably have like 8 or 9, maybe even 10 wins. So, I mean, the Cowboys are really getting ruined by Jason Garett, the clapper. I mean, I love it though, obviously. I mean, as a fan of the NFL, as a person that generally dislikes the Cowboys because I don't like their fan base at all. I mean, I love that Jason Garett is still their coach because he's going to find a way to mess up games like this. The Cowboys have not had a single good victory this entire season. They don't have a single win over, I think, any teams with a winning record. The Cowboys have really just been beating up on a lot of bad teams because their division absolutely sucks, from the Redskins to the Giants to the Eagles. I mean, that's a really easy division to be in. So this Cowboys team, I mean, it doesn't have any quality wins at all. It's not like the Bears do either. I mean, we do have a win against the Vikings, but we've also, sucked for the most part, so I'm not going to toot our horn too much. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Bears regardless. Going up against a defense like this, I mean, the Bears offense, although it does look a lot better now than it did earlier in the season, those performances by the offense were coming up against, a really bad Giants defense and a really bad Lions defense. So if we can somehow find a way to beat a good defense like this, score a lot of points against a great defense like the Cowboys defense, then I'm going to be a lot more impressed, and then I might actually think that we have a chance to make the playoffs. But let me stop wasting your time. Let's get into the 3 keys to a Bears victory. Key number 1 is going to be to starve Zeke. The Cowboys are going to try to feed Zeke all game long. They're going to try to get him going because this is the type of game where you cannot rely on Dak Prescott to win the game for you. Dak Prescott, although he was leading the league in passing yards, I think last week, I think he might still be leading or maybe close to be leading. Although Dak Prescott has been having a really great season, he has not done good against elite defenses, okay? Against the Patriots, against the Saints, against the Bills, he did not do that good against those types of defenses because obviously, they have strong secondaries and they have strong pass rushes. And just like the Chicago Bears, I mean, Dak Prescott does not want to put, the weight of the world on his shoulders in this game, because if you ask him to go up against, players like Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, even though our secondary has been lacking a little bit lately, I mean, there's still so many studs in this Bears secondary. And with the pass rush that we have as well, if Khalil Mack can get going, I mean, it can be a rough day for Dak Prescott if he has to throw the ball, 40 or 50 times. So they're definitely going to try to get Zeke going, but we cannot allow that to happen. Ezekiel Elliot is 6th in the NFL in rushing right now, so he's been having a really phenomenal season. I feel like this season has been more about Dak Prescott's emergence, at least that's what the media has been covering, but you cannot forget about how good Zeke is as well, and we're going to have to find a way to stop him so that, we can put the game more in Dak Prescott's shoulders, because that's what I want to happen, okay? The Bears defense right now is 8th in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game, so they're still a top 10, pretty elite run defense. It hurts not having Akeem Hicks. I wish he was back for this game. That would be so helpful. But we still have studs on that D-line. Eddie Goldman has to step up. Nick Williams has to step up. Roy Robertson-Harris. I mean, all our linebackers, Nick Kwiatkowski, Roquan Smith, fill in the gaps. I mean, they've been playing like studs so far, so I'm not worried about our linebackers. But this entire front seven, it's going to have to do a phenomenal job to key in on Zeke Elliott and, stop this Cowboys rushing attack. Key number 2 is that Mitch Trubisky must use his mobility in this game. Guys, I feel like I've been saying this for a long time now. I feel like every other prediction video I make, I say that Mitch needs to use his mobility a little bit more. And although that has been happening, right, over the past couple of games, Mitch has been a lot more mobile than the first couple games of the season, I still feel like it's not enough. And a lot of that does fall on Matt Nagy's shoulders. He's not calling the proper plays to get Trubisky going. Okay, the movement plays where he's rolling out of the pocket, play action, bootleg, I feel like those types of plays are where he really excels the most. So Matt Nagy needs to call a little bit more of those types of plays. But also, I mean, some of it does fall on Mitch's shoulder as well. You saw in the last game against the Lions, I mean, Mitch did have a chance to run for the first down at the end of the first half, but he just chose not to do it. I think that might have been because he was scared to take a hit, or I don't know what it was, but Mitch, at this point, you cannot be scared to take a hit. It's do or die at this point. Obviously, don't take unnecessary hits when you don't have to, but when you're going for the first down, I mean, you have to go for it. You can't just choose not to do it, because that could be the difference in the game. Against a team like the Cowboys, who have a really strong defense, they rank 8th in total defense this year, so they have a really good defense. They have a good secondary. They have phenomenal pass rushers, DeMarcus Lawrence and Robert Quinn. I mean, you already know that our offensive line is not going to be able to handle them throughout the entire game. Mitch is going to have to move around in and out of the pocket. He's going to have to scramble for the first down. He's going to have to make something out of nothing, because we already know that our offensive line, even though it had a decent day against the Lions, I mean, this is a totally different beast going against the Cowboys. The offensive line might struggle, but Mitch's mobility can be a key asset to him in this game. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that I don't want Mitch to throw the ball, because obviously I do. I mean, he's coming off of his best game as a passer against the Lions, but I'm just being realistic here, guys. He's not going to have the same type of game he had against the Lions against this Cowboys defense, because this defense is really freaking good. They have a lot of talent in that secondary. The pass rush is going to be in his face. I mean, it's going to be a tough game for this Bears offense to put up any points. So I want Mitch to take deep shots here and there. I want him to throw the ball, but he's also going to have to use his legs to pick up the first down and to pick up yards here and there. And key number 3 is that the Chicago Bears need to play with desperation. You can talk about X's and O's, you can talk about matchups all you want, but if you don't talk about this, right, you're missing a key element of the game. You're missing a key element of football, because in a game like this, which is do or die for the Chicago Bears, if every person on that field is not playing with desperation, then we're not going to win this football game. Guys, this is a playoff game at Soldier Field, and I hope the players realize that, okay? They probably do. I mean, Matt Nagy is going to stress to these guys that if you lose this game, our chances of making the postseason decrease dramatically. I mean, he's going to stress that to them, but I hope they really believe it, because you have to play this game like it's an elimination game, because it pretty much is at this point, okay? You have to go as hard as you possibly can. You have to go all out. You have to give your extra effort in this game. You have to make that extra tackle. You have to go that extra yard. I mean, you have to do all these things that you do in a playoff game, because if you lose this, we're not going to make the playoffs. So I really hope that every player on offense and defense, they're going to be playing their hardest for this crowd at Soldier Field. The crowd is going to be loud. They're going to be wanting a victory, because a victory right here against the Cowboys would bring the hype. It would bring the energy back to Chicago. It would make us all think that there is still a chance of making the playoffs. So guys, please play with desperation the entire night. All right, so there you have it. Those are the 3 keys to Bears victory. Now let's get to my score prediction. And I'm picking the Chicago Bears in a must-win game at Soldier Field to lose against the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 45-2. And you guys already know why I'm doing this. If you've been watching my videos over the past couple weeks, you know that I'm only picking this outcome because I want the opposite to happen. Whenever I pick the Bears to win, they lose. Whenever I pick the Bears to lose, they win. So I'm just trying to keep that streak alive, okay? Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not, but I'm just going to try it out. But guys, I mean, all jokes aside, I think that realistically, if you want to know what I actually think will happen, I think the Bears are actually going to win this by a score of, like 21 to like 14 or something like that. I think that the Bears offense, it's not going to have a phenomenal day by any means, okay, because the Cowboys defense is pretty good. They're going to be a tough test for this Bears offense, but I feel like the offense right now is clicking a lot more than it did earlier this season. Mitch Trubisky is a lot more confident. Matt Nagy is calling a lot better plays. Our offensive line is looking a lot better with Cornelius Lucas at right tackle, with Alex Bars filling in sometimes, with the change we made in the center with James Daniels and Cody White here. I mean, it seems to be working a little bit at least. And I think that although our offense is not going to do anything crazy, I think we're going to make just enough plays to beat this Cowboys team. And when you look at our defense, I mean, this is the perfect type of game for our defense to dominate. They're going to be at Soldier Field with the crowd with them in a must-win game. I mean, it's going to be probably a chilly environment. Our defense plays the best in games like that. Do you guys remember the Rams game last year at Soldier Field? You guys remember like a lot of games last year at Soldier Field? Our defense did ball out. And although this year it's not been the same defense as it was, last year, it's still a really freaking good defense. And Dak Prescott is going to have a tough task going up against a defense like this. Dak Prescott has not been that great, like I mentioned, against elite defenses. And the Bears are an elite defense. So if we can force some turnovers and also starve Zeke, like I mentioned, I mean, limit Zeke as much as possible, then we can stop this Cowboys offense and hopefully score just enough points to squeak by in a victory. I think it's going to be a very ugly game. I mean, it's not going to be pretty at all. There's going to be a lot of mistakes by both teams. I mean, this is the type of game that you just have to find some way to win. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just find a way to win, and that's all that matters. My prediction for MVP of this game is going to surprise a lot of people. I am actually picking Mitch Trubisky to be the MVP of this game. That's a really bold prediction, being that we're going up against a defense this great, being that we're going to be on primetime television. I mean, Mitch has not been that great on primetime at all. So it's a really bold prediction, but I'm going to pick it because, guys, damn it, I believe a little bit in Trubisky right now, okay, even if it's only a little bit, because he has looked a lot better recently than he has earlier on, okay? And I know that's going up against really bad defenses like the Giants and the Lions defenses, but guys, it doesn't matter. At least he's actually building some confidence. At least he's looking like a little bit of the quarterback that he was last year, okay? And he doesn't even have to be perfect in this game. He doesn't even have to be like having a crazy stat line in this game to be MVP. He just has to make enough plays for this team to win the game. He needs to be clutch on third down. He needs to be clutch, in certain situations. He needs to be clutch in the red zone. And I think that Mitch Trubisky will be. That's pretty much all I have to say. As always, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this game. If you agree with my predictions, if you disagree, what you think the score of the game is going to be, and so on. But guys, like I've been mentioning this entire video, this is a must-win game. This is a playoff game at Soldier Field. If you're going to this game, please be as loud as humanly possible. We need as much energy. We need as much, passion in this crowd as we can possibly get, because, damn it, it does help the team, okay? Even if it's only a little bit, I mean, all the energy we can get, it's going to help this team to a victory. It's going to help this defense make plays. It's going to give our offense a little bit of confidence. And hopefully, our Chicago Bears can get the biggest win of the season so far, right before Akeem Hicks comes back in an even bigger matchup against the Packers in Lambeau Field the week after. Bear down, guys.